Hines. Chance though for Johnston. Opening score of the game. He's waiting on the decision and he's pretty happy with it. Lewis Johnston kicks the first goal of the game. And you mentioned him already, that he's a very talented player, Kevin, and he's had a pretty good carnival.
Yes, he has, and playing across half.
Trying to extract the ball there was Johnson. Goes back to Spade. Good bit of clearance work by Hamish Hartlett. Gets to half forward. Johnson, good attack on the footy. Takes a strong mark. He's already kicked one. Not a lot of options short, so he'll load up for number 2. Looks at a fraction, and it's gone through for a minor score.
Stanley heads in the Johnston direction. Good pass, and Johnston is looking very dangerous at the moment.
The delivery's been very good to him as well.
Yep.
Now he's opened it up. He'll be asked to play on in a second.
And he was asked to play on as you spoke, Liam, and so Johnston wants that to curl around right to the line. It won't go all the way. It'll go through from behind, so...
Forward. Now the Crummers are there. Beautifully picked up. The 1-2 over the top. South Australia, and Johnson misses one from the goal square. Terrible finish.
Oh, I gave him a rap before about set shots.
He's a left footer. Leans back. Hasn't quite got the trip. That might have been a good, strong mark. That's Johnson in the goal square. Lewis Johnson. And he plays on quickly, riskily, I thought, but kicked the goal and stretched the margin. That's his second. Very strong contested mark, and we talk about...
Wilson turns around, heads in the Johnston collect. Oh, gee. Impressive hands once again from Lewis Johnston. 53-point margin to South Australia. This man has been on show. Wanted Hines. He missed it.
We had a game of 30-odd possessions and 4 goals at that level. At under 16 level a couple of years back, he was a ball magnet. He was getting at 35. And that's before the coach and all that kicks in. He just looks a real natural player. And it was his kicking that separated him then.
2 teams have been in the comp. And what you've found is what we found here today, that the Division 2 teams aren't quite up to standard, although as far as the draft goes, you know, well, I think you'll find that it's probably going to be the best draft ever, and some of the best tools that you'll ever see in the game are going to be in this.
To centre wing. South Australia with numbers, though. This is Lewis Johnson. Now, he's put it out in front of his teammate here with a bit of space. Doesn't sit. Dives.
He's run himself into a bit of trouble. Cross goal. Johnston. Lewis Johnston steals it, gives it back. It's an error New South Wales didn't want. Kale kicks the goal.
Well, throws it back in. I look for a clearance. Here's Johnson. Gets it forward. Hines. He's kicked a couple. He's now kicked 3. Did it beautifully, the big fella. He's had a
break for a couple of weeks. You looked at the finals at state league level. He was back to 35 possessions, absolute star. So that's where you've got to be a wee bit careful. Do you know all the information? Is he carrying something? Is this...
Kicks, looking for Johnston. Got it. Plays on quickly, driving it inside forward 50. Schoenmaker's the target. Kale waiting for the crumb. Oh, yeah. Doesn't need it.
Here's your chance.
At Melbourne Football Club, had a long background in coaching and now in talent ID, with the assistance of Alan McConnell, the OAS high-performance coach. And they'll meet next Monday to finalise that side.
Don't leave yourself out of that, Kev.
Not a bad finish there by Johnston.
He's had a good
He
game.
just went back and went bang. Lewis Johnston. It's reminiscent of the 1988 sprint final. Carl Lewis. Campbell just quicks it back to Johnston. And Johnston again, this time took too long. In came Klemke. Schoenmakers gives Johnston another go. Back around onto his left to the goal line. He's got enough on it. And he kicks another one. 4 goals, 3 for Johnston. And only Hartlett has had more possessions for the South Australian team. And he is dynamic to say.